Good afternoon. Welcome to my video today. I have been busy and I haven't recorded any of it, and I've been thinking, why haven't I done that? And it's just because I just wanted to get some stuff done, and now I've realized, oh, I need to record this. So I will show you what I did last night and then what I'm currently doing now. So this is what I did last night, if you can believe. Some of these I had poured prior, like these two alfalfa honey, and then one of these Midnight in Michigan big ones, but everything else I poured yesterday. I want to get them ready for the farmer's market on May 17th because that is the day that the Indiana State sponsored Peony Festival in Noblesville, Indiana is going on. It's around like 2 or 3 blocks away from the farmer's market. And so I've been there as like a helper for like a vendor before, and there's people from all over the United States who come. And so there is a really big pipeline from the farmer's market to the Peony Festival because I think there's like an hour or two where they overlap. So there's like a huge pipeline from one to the other. And so I am essentially bringing like 2 to 3 times the stock that I normally would. I'm trying to find my, oh, here it is. I was trying to find my thing to hold my phone. I can't think of the name right now. I'm trying to bring 2 to 3 times the amount of stock that I normally would. Like I had a list over here the other day, but essentially if you can like think about this. So normally I bring 1 12-ounce and 3 6-ounces of a single scent. Instead of bringing just one singular 12-ounce for most of them, I'm bringing 3. Or if they sold a lot, like they were bestsellers the last time I was at the farmer's market, I'm bringing 4 of them. And then for 6 ounces, I am bringing 3 of everything, except a couple of them are 4 because they sold well, so I want to have 1 more. And then 2 of them are 6 because my 2 best sellers, which is Holland and Spring and Kaimea Highway. Kaimea Highway still surprises me just because how much feedback I've gotten in the past that it was nasty, and it's not now. I'm bringing 6 of those. So enough my new collection. This is when I will be debuting my new scents. Because I'm slowly introducing all of the stuff that I have new for my business, which were the makeup bags and now these new candle scents. I'm introducing those on May 17th. So I will be bringing everything that you saw there, plus like 2 or 3 more candles on my shelf that I have done. I will be bringing all of that there because I am hoping that at least Snowbird will sell really well. A lot of people when I went there were asking for like an amber smoky type of scent or vanilla. It was one of those two, and I don't have like a straight up vanilla candle. Everything, like all of my candles have vanilla in them, but it wasn't straight up vanilla, while Snowbird is. I don't have like a smoky or an amber like candle just yet. I feel like that's a little bit more fall time for me. So that's what I did yesterday, was pour all those candles, and today I am actually painting, which is something I don't normally do, but I'm doing today because I found out a couple days ago that I got into the Strawberry Moon Festival at Katawi Park in Noblesville. Katawi is a big, like, just outdoor park. When I vlog the event, you'll see what it is, but just to give like a brief rundown, it's all dirt paths except one, and the dirt paths are mainly used by horses. You can take your horses over there. It's like a huge big area. When it rains a lot, the White River is right along Katawi Park, and the park becomes a swamp because all the water goes into it. So Katawi's super beautiful, and this is going to be on a Wednesday. And so I think the event's going to be from like 3 to 9. I have to check on the hours again, but I wanted to do something special for it. And I love to watercolor paint, and it's not something I typically get to do anymore. And so I really wanted to make a Strawberry Moon postcard. If they sell really well, then I can sell them otherwise, and this will get me geared up to essentially sell postcards. Because I mostly want it to be of like my own art or of photos that I've taken, so I can express myself and share, you know, the adventures of travel with other people. So let's get painting. So it's into the afternoon now, more like evening time, but I finished my strawberry moon and I finished the whole postcard. I went over it a lot of times with my mom because we were debating on the font, which font looked best. So I'll show you the finished product. So this is the finished design. It's gonna be printed on a postcard and it's gonna be linen. Again, this is what the front's gonna look like. It'll have like a linen texture on it, and then the back will look like this. It's just saying like what market it is, when it was, and where it was. So I thought that was a nice little touch to it. This is gonna be the first time that I've had anything with like my art printed on it. Obviously I've gotten my designs printed, which is a little bit different. It's kind of like piecing things together and it's like, okay, I designed that. But this is the first time that I'm gonna have something that I've like physically made art of and painted as like something physical and tangible I can feel, so that's super exciting. I think it's really cute. Embrace life's sweetness. I was looking up like the metaphysical meaning of the strawberry moon, and that was one of the things. It was like courage to change, embracing change. And then one line in an article that I read literally said like embracing life's sweetness, and I was like, that is so good. So put on there, embrace life's sweetness. I think it was very cute. Hello and good afternoon. It is Wednesday today, and I am cutting out some fabric to make makeup bags. So this is some of the fabric I've cut out so far. All of the clover I cut out previously, and then the apple, the watercolor apple, and the new wavy flowers I've just cut out today. I have one more wavy flower. But this week I've just been honestly super bad at recording anything. I like get done with the project and then I'm like, oh, I should have recorded that. So here I am giving a little update. This is my newest pattern. This is what it looks like up close. I think this one is super cute. I wanted to add pink into it. I went over this in like a video or so ago, but essentially my brand colors are like red, blue, green, yellow, brown, and pink. And for all of my makeup bags, I have an element of those in them. Like most of the zippers are brown. All of the other colors for everything are one of those colors, right? So I have my like my pink flowers for my makeup bags, but since that is like a Joann's fabric that I can't get any more of, I have to replace it with something. So I decided to replace it with this Moda fabric. Today, my goals are two things. One, cut out all of the fabric for this. That means like the batting and as well as the lining on the inside, and make a tote bag, like a grocery tote bag back here for my brother. We are gonna go visit in Pittsburgh, so I'm really excited for that, and I want to make him a little gift. So he uses a bunch of totes when he goes grocery shopping, and so I thought, hey, I'll make him one. So I got changed for the day, obviously, and I finished the tote bag. Like I said, I've just been horrible at this. I think it's just because I want to watch things on my phone, and that's what I'm currently recording on. But this is the tote bag for my brother. It is so cute. And on both sides, I actually have, oh my God, am I blind? Yes, I am. So on both sides, I actually have my tag on both sides. So I have Lucky Star here. And then when you flip it over on the opposite side, I have Lucky Star there. So this is super cute, and everything has been serged on the inside and then sewn on top of that, because serging at the corners like this, where the two pieces connect, can sometimes get a little frayed right there and it will start coming apart and you can literally peel it apart. So I decided to serge it and then sew right before the serge line. So this is what that looks like. This is the serging. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well because of my phone, but so the serging, right? And then you see this underneath it, that is the sew line that is sewn all the way through. So that just means that it's super strong and super durable. So yeah, here it is. It's super cute. I have these candles that I've had on discount for a while. I'm not selling them anymore because I just feel bad about selling these discount candles. So what I'm gonna try to do is, and this is the reason why they're discount, is because the wick inside of there is way too thin. If you can see, this is the thickness of a wick that I normally use, and this was the thickness of the wicks that I first got. As you can see, like this is very thin, while this is a lot thicker. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to melt these candles enough that I can physically pull the wick out and put a new wick in, and then I will redo the label and redo this. So right now what I'm gonna do is try to peel off this label as much as possible. Now I'm taking the bottom warning label off, seeing if I can salvage some of them. And if you're wondering why I was ripping like in between right here, it's because when I initially put these on, I swear there was like something wrong with these labels to the point where I like messaged Vistaprint like, what the heck is going on? And because they were bubbling so much. So I was taking out the bubble essentially on that label. Since I already have this one, and I've already have these all made, the only thing wrong with it is the wick. I'm definitely going to try to repurpose these, because if I can, you know, make some money out of these, then that would be wonderful to get my money back. This was essentially my initial investment into my business, were these candles. And there was just a lot of things wrong with them. The wick was wrong, and the labels were wrong. They were way too small. This was one of the labels. Like, as you can tell, like the text is really, really small. Like if you compare it to one of my new ones, like, yeah, the text is horribly small. So I got that wrong. And that's on all of these messed up candles. It's this like small text. And then I got the wicking wrong as well. The only thing I got right were like everything beyond that. So like the jar and like the formula I used to mix the wax and the fragrance together, the lids, like everything like that was fine. It was just the visual aspect of what is this candle, and let's make this candle work. So let's get out 9 of these. So I'm hoping they will get soft enough that I can just slip the wick right out of there, and I can just slip one of these in there and then remelt the top and call it a day and put a new label on it too. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. I'm gonna set up my big boiling pot, because this method is used for when you're done with a candle and like you want to clean off the sides and like reuse the jar. Because like, you know, say you do want to reuse this, because this is all recyclable and reusable, all my jars are. And so say you do want to do that, well, then you put it in what I'm about to show you, and you can clean it all out easily. Now I'm about to use it to switch out wicks, so we'll see if it works. So this is what the process is looking like. Here's a little look into my kitchen as always. But this is my big pot. I have filled it up to around 3 quarts, and it is currently on high right now, trying to boil. Once it starts to boil a little bit, then I will be putting 3 candles in at a time without the lid on, and I'm gonna be getting them out with tongs. So I'm not about to be touching those hot little candles. And then we're going to see if I can pull the wick out and replace it with new ones. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. So you can see the melting of the wax. Ooh. Oh my gosh. My face is so red because I'm so anxious right now. That was the worst. That was literally the worst. Okay, now I got this little hot pad thing. I'm gonna try to grab one. Okay, that's way better. Yay! And I can grab it. Yay! Oh my god, I just got wax on me. That's fine. Yay! Wick replaced. Here she is. Eek! Yay! Second one replaced. So here's the candle. As you can see, it has a little bit of solid at the bottom. Ooh, and this one's wick came up. That's not good. That's not good at all. So let's fix that really quick. So now I know I can't let them boil too much. I do have to take them out before so that it doesn't boil the actual what's holding it down off. So we're gonna transfer it to another jar that I've prepared very quickly. Let's get that off of there. I'm just gonna wipe it all out. So this is how you'd clean your candle normally if you want to take all the wax out of it. I am just doing it for different purposes. And there we go, all clean and ready to be reused. Okay, I'm gonna continue this process off camera. It takes a little while, as you can see. It takes a little trial and tribulation. So I will come back to you when they have all been melted. Okay, and here they are all done. I think my biggest advice that if you're going to try to do what I just did is to definitely have a surface that you can easily clean off and you have enough space to do this, because trying to pull out these wicks got a little messy. Another tip that I learned while doing this is to definitely not let it boil all the way to the point where the whole thing is liquid, because then, like, I had one where the wick actually was floating up because the wick clip and the tab holding down the wick clip were no longer stuck to the jar at all. And so you have to kind of essentially get down and dirty, and when it's like a little bit around the wick, you have to slowly pull the wick out with, with hope and tears, and then you have to try to like break the wax off. Or what I was doing was holding like the wick and trying to like slide it out of like the little wax ball that was in the center of it. Good afternoon. It is currently almost 2 o'clock right now, and I am finishing up some candles, and I am also making some beeswax candles. If you could smell this beeswax, delectable. I know the inside of my melter looks horrendous, but it's okay. Trust me, it's okay. I topped off all of the candles that I had sitting here, and then I topped these off as well. I think the main thing that I forget about candles when I haven't poured them in a while is, as you can see, each one of them has a bubble. So I will need to go back and essentially put a hairdryer over all of these, and some of these too. I need to put hair dryers over these because, as you can see, they're not like smooth, they're like marbled at the top and they look kind of odd. So I need to put a hair dryer over every single one of these. And then this is the beeswax candle. This one is currently cooling down and drying down. Actually, my dad knows somebody who goes on the road like all year round. That is their job. And they sell like time period accurate things. So they were wanting to know if I could make some beeswax candles. I have to make them in the chins because that's time period accurate. Same thing with the wood wick. That's what they would have used then, not a cotton wick. So I'm testing those out. I put a bigger wick in the big ones, like bigger than I normally do. Those were actually like the second wicks that I ever got for candles, and they work well. They just end up the flames just too big. But for beeswax, it burns at a higher temperature than soy does, and that candle is so large. So I decided to try to put one of those in there to see if it will work. Obviously it sits in there fine, but burning wise, will it work? This is what the beeswax looks like. Trust me, it literally will just stay here forever. So I only use this pitcher anymore for beeswax when I do it every so often, but it's 13 ounces and it is currently at a temperature of 182, oh my God, 186.2. So I'll be pouring this probably around like 150 or 160 because that's when it starts to solidify inside of here. This candle started to crack like right down the middle. I've had this happen with other beeswax candles and I don't know why this happened. So I'm thinking it's just because I poured it too hot. I poured this one at around 165. So that's why I'm gonna try to pour the other ones at around 160 to 150. If you haven't seen on my Instagram, I put up a poll like weeks ago, honestly, but I've redesigned all of my labels. I'm just waiting until I run out of them, and then once I run out of that label, I'll order the new design of the label. So this is the new Strawberry Moon label, and then these are a couple of the other ones that have that same style now. I'll do a comparison. So this is the Holland and Spring, and then this is Campground S'mores. This is Into the Woods. So there's just a couple of them so you can compare like what the previous one looked like to the new one. I like the new one a lot better just because everything that is like the most important thing, at least to me and to Law on the candle, are the big bold letters. So the title of the candle and then the middle section that gives you all of the information about the candle. I'm so glad that I'm able to put on there. Like with the other font, the way that it was like tall and the way that it went like wide, I wasn't able to put much more than anything that I have on there, which is the 100% soy wax, phthalate free, and crackling wood wick. Obviously, I don't need to put crackling wood wick on there. You can see that and I can tell you that, right? Now I put on there non-toxic because it doesn't have parabens if you're afraid of parabens. It doesn't have phthalates. It doesn't have any like toxic fragrance things in it if you're afraid of any of that, right? And then it's also recyclable, which is not a point that I really get to say to people very often because we don't get through the whole process of, okay, what kind of candles do you like? Oh, you like that kind of candle? Well, these burn for blah, blah, blah hours and they have crackling wood wicks and they're 100% soy. I don't get to the point to say that they're recyclable, and that is definitely another selling point, especially with, that's something that I'm trying to push and I haven't been able to figure out how to like talk that into like my little spiel. So putting on there that it's recyclable is great. And then also putting on there like the minimum burn time. So the small ones burn for 40 to 45 hours. Well, the bigger ones burn up to like 110, 115 hours, right? But putting a minimum burn time of 40 hours on there just covers all of it. So they all minimal burn for 40 hours, right? But then I can say, and then the big ones burn for 110. So you get like more than double the amount of burn time. If you really like a scent and you don't want to come back and buy multiple little ones, then there's a bigger one. All around, I love the new labels. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because everybody on Instagram, I had like 5 or 6 people vote on the poll that I put out and only one person liked the new labels. Like everybody else liked the old ones. So tell me your opinions on the old labels versus the new labels and which one you like more and why you like it more, because I'm gonna change my labels anyways, but maybe I'll change up the fonts to what I have them as right now. So I just want some feedback. I would really appreciate it if you would comment down below. And after I pour these beeswax candles, I think this video is done for the week. So let's pour these puppies and I will sign you off. So the current temperature of the beeswax is 160, but as you can see at the bottom, it's already starting to solidify. So what I think I'm gonna do in the future is I'm gonna buy one of those metal pitchers that I have, and I'm gonna use it just for beeswax because obviously the metal will be hotter, and if it's, you know, essentially that hardness would be like reversed. Instead of it being at the bottom where the funnel point is, it would be at the top where the most air is exposed and where it is the coldest. Or maybe it wouldn't do that at all. So it's currently at 160 degrees right now, so I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes and then pour. Okay, now within literally less than a minute, there's so much more solidified at the bottom, so I am going to pour these bad boys. I think definitely I'm gonna be getting a metal pitcher because I cannot be having this. It's a little too much for me to be like, you know, with soy candles, there's always, and candles in general, there's always an amount that you're gonna lose, right? But this is a lot. This is a lot of wax to be losing. Like to the point where I'm not even able to fill up like 2 ounces of wax after I've just poured essentially like 6 or 8. Like look at that in the bottom. I'm gonna see if I can break it up because what? I got most of it up with my old thermostat, but like look, it looks like cheese. But I definitely, yeah. I'm just reiterating my point, if my camera would focus, that I need a metal one because I don't think this would happen with metal. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you sticking around. I know some of these videos can tend to be a little long, so I really appreciate you just being here, watching my journey, and just, you know, going through it with me because I love making YouTube videos, editing YouTube videos. I think my favorite part is honestly making the thumbnail. So catch me making cute thumbnails. But yeah, I'm just really happy that you're here, and I'm really happy that we're able to experience this together. And any feedback that you would like to give me, please leave it in the comment section below. I reply to everybody as long as you seem like you're a real person. Even if you don't seem like a real person, I still will reply to you to a point. But as long as you seem like a real person and you're not trying to sell me something and you're not a bot, then I will definitely reply to you. So just putting that out there. But thank you all so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.